Okay, so those of you that asked for it, and those of you that didn't, this is my Velcro strapping system. So when I start building my Deathtrooper, I'm going to use a cod piece here as an example because it's small enough to move around. Everyone was saying that snaps suck, and it was my first costume. So if everyone who has been doing this for a long time said that snaps suck, I kind of was going to listen to them. So I thought about how I can do things without snaps. And I like the idea of Velcro because there's nothing hard here. There's nothing to scratch it up. And you know, with our Deathtrooper armor, you know, we're forever going to be polishing this stuff unless you like to have the weathered look. And I was going for the polished look. So anyway, so what I did, and what I'm going to show you how to do tonight, is how to make this system. And it consists of these 3 to 4 inch. This is the this side is the loop, the fuzzy part, and your straps. This is a cod piece strap. Okay, so this is elastic, and I've attached hook on both sides on both ends. So now I have an adjustable system, stretches, and I have basically 4 inches, or this one's 3.5 inches of adjustment on it. Not quite that, because you got to have a little bit of play, but you'll get the idea in a second. So what I do, and I'll show you how to assemble it in a second, is I glue a piece of hook onto the back side of the fabric, the fuzzy piece. So there's a piece of hook there, and I do it, and it forms a triple lock system. So I just lay the Velcro down there. Now this is the key to this. If you just use Velcro, this eventually will come off. It'll pull, and it'll pull at the wrong time. So I wanted a way to lock it. So with the triple lock system, now that's not going to come off, but it could peel up. And so now I have my Velcro in there, and there is no way that is going to pull out. I'll rip this piece of Velcro off before that'll rip off. And I actually have a couple times as I've learned to do this. So I've got to do a little repair on one. I'll show you the 2 types of cement I used, and show you how to put it together. And there's one, when I do the strapping video, you'll see there's the one part for the shoulder, where the shoulder belts meet, that's a double system. So what I've done on that one, then just to show you here. So that one, you have, if this was a shoulder piece, you have the strap that goes here, but then you need the shoulder belt to come in on the side. So what I've done is I've made that piece where it can support 2 straps and double lock, and the shoulder belt strap goes in there. The cool part about this is when it's all said and done, you see here I labeled each strap. This is a cod piece strap. I can either leave it here attached to one side, or I can take the whole thing off. And there's the taint strap, it goes down here. And so everything locks in. You can't pull it out, and it works like a champ. So I can pack up my whole armor, take it completely apart, whereas unlike the TKs and the white armor guys, their stuff doesn't scratch. Ours, it's going to get marred up, and we're always going to be polishing this stuff out and always trying to perfect it, and I like mine shiny. So I needed to be able to take it apart and make sure I could bag it. So I've created bags out of bubble wrap, and every piece comes apart. It may take a little more time in the assembly, when I get ready for a troop, but that's what it is. So now, show you what I'm doing. So you'll need, I tried this at first. It's Gorilla Glue, and I don't know if it's going to record and flip it, but whatever. This is Gorilla Glue Contact Adhesive Clear Grip. What I liked about this one was it only took 2 minutes, supposedly, to dry. It takes longer. And to get a really good bond, it takes a lot longer. So you can use it or not. Use whatever adhesive you want. I have found our tried and trusty barge cement. If you give it enough time to set up, it'll hold on to just about anything, and it really doesn't pull. This stuff, even if it takes 2 minutes to dry and whatever, because the way you can't put it on really thin, it comes out kind of gloopy, and you're going to find that you need to let it sit 24 hours before you really use it. This stuff, you know, I've got some pieces here that are drying that we'll use, and I don't know, you know, it'll work pretty well. I'm gonna let one piece dry. My tank strap, this stuff pulled out, so I'm swapping it and using this. So, okay, so what you need for my system. You will need, this is, I think, 1.5 inch, 2 inch, basically wide Velcro, okay? And then, you'll see here, you cut it into about 3 to 4 inch strips, okay? So this is the fuzzy part, and then you take I'll cut some new ones because I'm letting that dry. You take the hook part, okay, and you cut it in about 1 inch nubs, like that. So, why do you do 1 inch nubs? Because your elastic, or if you get webbing, it's 1 inch wide. So, you end up with, for a piece of, I'm going to do one side, but for a piece of strapping like this, that you're going to attach to both sides, you need 4 pieces of the 1 inch wide hook. You see this is already starting to dry. This has got barge cement on it, and it's already getting there. Because you're going to do one on either side end on both sides. You can see here the one I'm fixing. I'll use this one. So this is my, what has been referred to me as the taint strap, the one that goes between your legs. So I've got Velcro hook on this side and on this side and on that side, and then this is the piece I'm fixing. So once you get everything ready, and it's had about 4 minutes, but I'm kind of rushing it for this video. I did the little Martha Stewart thing where I prepped it ahead of time. Push it in there. I'm gonna let it cure really good. But now I have a strap, and I have a strap that is both flexible, it stretches, and it's adjustable because I can mount on the triple lock system. I can mount it anywhere from, I'll cut another piece. So if I'm mounting this thing in my kit, I can mount this. I'll do it sideways so you can see better. I can mount it here, or I can stretch it this way. Depends on, you know, you don't have, that's the great thing about this system. You don't have to be exactly accurate. You can be close enough. I mean, if I mount this in my kit and I get to that point, I'm still going to have enough to triple lock it, and it's still going to stay in there. Or if I get too short, I can go the other way. You know, if my strap's too long. And like I said, either way, I've got this side and I've got the other side for adjustment. So this system allows you to kind of tweak your kit after you built it. Okay? All right, so repair done, quick and easy. So now I'm going to build this. So you notice I put the cement on about 1 inch of one side of the back of the fuzzy part. Okay? And I've got a strip, it's about 1 inch wide, of the hook, and I'm doing it back to back. Squeeze it down there. So now what I've built is one of these parts. Okay? So to mount this in a piece of armor, all I do is I put a piece of some contact cement here, about right there. Give a little gap because these straps here, you see, have a little bit of thickness to them now. I've basically tripled the thickness of what it was. And I thought that would be kind of bulky at first, but really it's with our padding and everything else we've got on the undersuit, you never notice this stuff is here. It doesn't make a hill of beans. In fact, it may add a little more comfort because it gives you a little extra padding around some stuff. But you'll lay a little bit of contact cement right there about the middle of the strip, and you'll do the contact cement in the piece, okay? And then you touch, and then when you lay it down, remember, the back side down, and now when you mount that in your kit, now you've got a locking Velcro system. And to do the same thing, you'll do it with the strap. Again, I've coated about 1.5 inches or 2 inches of the end of this with barge, and it's already curled up on me, so now I gotta kind of get my fingers in the glue. And one side down. So if I was going to do this and be making extra strap, which I guess I should, I can barge cement this side, and I've got an extra piece. And I could just sit here all night and just make strap. Or I could sit here all night and make mounts. And honestly, I've tried this with barge cement. I've tried it with this Gorilla Glue. Again, if I had to do over again, I either barge cement or epoxy the stuff in there. I find this stuff is not as strong as barge. So I would say give this one a thumbs down. That's a thumbs up. It's messy, but it's better. This, more convenient because you can close the tube and all that, and you don't have to have this big drooling pile of, I wish they made this better, better container. But you don't have to have a big mess. And then you can just sit there and make connections. You notice here in my cod piece, I have three of what I call the triple lock. So you can just sit there and make triple lock all night long, and it's quick and easy. So that's my system, and it worked really well. One of the cool things I use in the Velcro, I can show you, I'll show tomorrow when I do the strapping video, how I did the thigh straps, because I made them where they come and loop over my belt, and I've got Velcro, but I mounted the Velcro with a bump in it, so it looks like a camel, you know, like, so it's like this. That way when the elastic stretches all the way out, it locks down. So Velcro gives you a ton of options, and it makes it where you don't have to be perfect the first time. And if you get your positioning off just a little bit, you've got more than enough play. You've got side-to-side play. You've got, so you, with this, when I lock this in here, I can go, remember I said I can go front to back? Well, I can also go side to side a little bit. So I've got some adjustment here to kind of tweak to make sure the part hangs exactly where I want it to hang. You do kind of need to do some measurements and positioning, like, you know, my cod piece, if you notice, they're kind of angled out here because I wanted to make sure this thing hung right in the center. So on my lower ab piece, they're a little wider, and that makes it so if they were straight up and down like this, you know, if I was a little off, it would be obvious. But because I set these out side to side, it forces the cod piece to kind of go right where I want it to go, right down the middle, and that worked like a champ. And I do this one, I buckle this one when I put on the armor. I have the tank strap already. When I put the bottoms on, the butt piece already has the tank strap attached. I just reach through my legs, and this is an easy thing to do. This, like I said, this system will, I mean, you're going to rip the part off your armor before the Velcro gives. It is in there like it was glued in, and it wasn't. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed it.